All right, so property tax appraisals, as Chris said, are out right now. A lot of you may have seen yours shooting up once again. Those appraisals, we should mention here, were done back in January. That's before the whole pandemic began, and there are some things that you can do to fight them, and we've brought in one of the most knowledgeable people we know about that, real estate broker Chandler Crouch, who joined us on the podcast. A lot of you know him because he went viral on social media several years ago trying to help other people fight their appraisals. And here we've brought you back again, Chandler, because we're seeing a lot of these valuations going up again this year. And a lot of people might think, well, I don't know if I can fight it. I don't know if I'll be successful. In a lot of cases, they are.
Absolutely. Most people just need to try, but your level of success is going to depend on what county you're in. We've seen Dallas County values absolutely skyrocket this year. Tarrant County exercise the legal new parameters that the new property tax reform bill allowed them to do. And they kept a lot of values the same, even reduced a bunch. So every county is unique. It doesn't matter if your value went up or down or stayed the same. If you feel like it's unfair, I encourage you to protest. Just get a little data together and go ahead and file your protest. And if you put a little effort into it, there is a good chance that you will win your protest.
And Chandler, let's clear up that misconception here too. Some people might say, well, if I fight the value, then it's going to make it look like my house is less valuable, and that'll hurt me one day when I try to go to sell it.
I can understand why people think that, but it's not true. There is no appraiser, no realtor that would enter into a real estate transaction and reference the tax value at all, any more than they would reference a value that's put on any other website. They're going to do an appraisal. They're going to look at market data, and they're going to do the research to see what properties have sold around your home recently and use that to justify the value of your home. So it's absolutely a smart idea to protest. If you protest, it could decrease the tax burden that the incoming buyer will have to pay. And it could actually, there's an argument that it could actually allow the buyer to pay even more for the house.
Interesting point. Okay, so Chandler, I want to ask this because when they do these appraisals, they're essentially looking at what it was worth last year because they put these, they get it all together in January. A lot of people have suffered economically because of COVID-19. Does it count if you start talking about the months that have happened here during the pandemic as to why your value should not be as high as what they deemed it was in January? Or do you have to wait till next year to talk about that?
That's absolutely a hot button issue. And there are a couple points I want to bring to your attention there. It's a little off topic, but bear with me. So every county is different. Some counties have taken the COVID-19 into consideration more than other counties. Tarrant County was very friendly. They were very understanding. They understood that people now are experiencing hardship due to this virus. The appraisal district is legally allowed to look, from what I understand, I'm no attorney, but from what I understand, they can look at evidence plus or minus 2 years from the date of appraisal. Date of appraisal is January 1st, okay? But there's one other thing I want to mention. Ken Paxton, our Attorney General, just came out with his opinion on whether or not property owners should still be afforded an in-person hearing protest, formal hearing protest. And he says that they absolutely are. And some appraisal districts are telling homeowners, they're either not informing homeowners of that right, or they're not telling homeowners that they have the right. They're maybe discouraging people and trying to make people believe that they have to do the protest over the phone. Certainly, we want to keep health as a consideration, but if you feel like you've got an unfair value, protest. This year is different than no other. You still have the same rights as a homeowner to protest your property tax value. By all means, use COVID-19 as evidence that that there is something that's damaged the property value and hurt your property value, and protest. And if you feel like you need a formal hearing, insist on it.
Chandler Crouch, realtor in Tarrant County. By the way, he does help walk people through this for free there on his site there. And I have linked to that and someone who can help you in Dallas County do the same thing. I am at Jason Wheeler TV on Facebook and Twitter. Chandler, thank you. And of course, listen to this week's episode of Y'all-itics. We have Chandler on there and we give a lot of information on this. So download that podcast,
Thanks.
WFAA Y'all-itics. Just look for that.